Alright, so we're back here with our little poor boy budget rebuild for my Chevrolet pickup. Got the valve job done, matte lapped the valves in, but it's been a few months since we've worked on this thing. We had one chamber kind of rust up on us over here, but it didn't hurt the seat, so it's not going to hurt a thing. I just went back and back cut the intake valves, put a 30-degree back cut on them. So I'm getting ready to put these together. I got to round some Z28 springs up, or some 100-long Z28 springs for the cam we're going to put in it. It ain't going to have that big a cam. And we'll get these things put together, and then I guess we'll get them slammed on the old motor and put in the old farm truck. Misty started school and she needs something to drive. So anyway, that's where we're at. So we'll be back. Alright, YouTube, we got the heads for the old junky truck motor together. I did go ahead and put, I was just going to put Z28 springs on these in stock retainers, but I had a set of used Howard springs. They were still in good shape, a lot better than a Z28 spring, and some hardened retainers. I mean, I got buckets of this stuff laying around here. So, not good enough for customers' motor, but good enough for my motor. I also had a pile of guide plates and ARP rocker studs. I have a box over there that's, you know, if I replace a set of studs, I keep the ones that aren't broke or the ones whatever. Anyway, some of these were rusty. That's why they all look gray now, because I chemically treated them in muriatic acid to get all the rust off of them. But I got a full set, so here we go. Now, I've had people ask me what I put on the threads of these. There's a couple different things I use. I use the ARP I use the Permatex, this stuff right here, a lot. You can use sealant. Gasket shellac. I've used that quite a bit. You can either use this one, or you can use the Forma gasket, which I put on head bolts a lot. I put this on head bolts as well. It works well for that. So anyway, but that's basically what I use. Is now, if you're going into a blind hole, then you really don't need to put any sealant on it, but you do need to put some kind of lubricant on it. All these holes here go into something. All the ones on the exhaust go into a water jacket, which you can see right through there. That's actually going through a water jacket. And then all the intakes actually go through the intake port. So you need to make sure you put something on them. Whoa. That wasn't good. Dropped the phone. Anyway, on the Vortec head, the intake, which can't really see it, but they go all the way through. So if you need to put some sealant on it, otherwise you'll create a vacuum leak right there, and it'll suck oil down in the cylinder, and then it'll leak water out of the exhaust ports. But like most of your aftermarket heads, well, no, I say that because most of your good aftermarket heads, if it's like a dart head or something, it still goes through the intake port. Mostly it don't go through on the exhaust side. It's usually a blind hole. So anyway, just something to know. So anyway, I'm going to get these buttoned up. I'm going to get the studs and guide plates put on them. These right here, I torque them to 60 foot-pounds. So anyway, that's what I torque them to. And if I cut something for screwing studs and a cast iron head and put ARP studs in it, I torque them to 60 to 65 foot-pounds. And aluminum head is a little different situation. I usually torque them about 55 to 60. You just don't want them coming out, and you damn sure don't want them pulling the threads out. So anyway, let me get these put together, and then we'll be back when we go to put them on. Alright, YouTube, we're back again with this budget built thing we're doing for farm truck for Misty. Of course, this is all, like we said before, this is all sweepings out of the shop, sweepings off the floor. But it's kind of turning into getting a little more expensive. The block was, like I said, it was an 80 over block that was in a race car, and it's got two different pistons out of two different motors in it, and two different crank out of another motor, and whatever. It is what it is. It's got rings out of an Oldsmobile in it. Yeah. So anyway, we're on to fixing to bolt the heads on. And I want to show you what you can run into on an 80 over motor. This is a rebuilder's head gasket. It's an Engine Tech, and they're pretty good head gaskets. However, they don't really line up real good in spots. You can see right here on the bottom that it's actually hanging off in the chamfer, pretty much hanging off in the combustion chamber. I could probably manipulate this gasket, move it down, because I think I have enough room in the top. It needs to be moved over a little bit. I probably could manipulate it, move it down, and it would be fine. However, I don't want any trouble with this engine. It's my daughter's. It's going in well, it's my truck, but my daughter's going to be driving it. I don't want her to have any trouble. So, these gaskets are 4,150, I think. These gaskets are 4,166, which is a 1003 Felpro. I could use a regular Permatorque on it, but I don't like them. So we can put a 1003 Felpro on here. And now all is well with the world. Gaskets line up. No problem. So, yeah, I'm having to spend $60, $68 in head gaskets for our $50 motor. But at least we know it won't blow. And I also bought new head bolts and new push rods for it. So I'm kind of starting to get out of budget with this thing, because it was supposed to cost nothing. I could go around the shop, find some head bolts, but I'm not going to. I'll spend a little money where it counts on this project. So that's where we're at with it. Now next I'm going to bolt the heads on. I don't know if I'm going to show that or not. I might. And then we'll start assembling the rest of this thing. So we'll be back.